colors today. I'm actually wearing white.
And I'm wearing black.
My, how the turntable.
Yes. Ay, Captain. How are we feeling?
We're feeling it. We're feeling things.
We are feeling all the
We are
things.
feeling all the things, and I'm feeling a little bit sassy today. I will not
Ooh.
lie. And I think it's partially because I already know what we're going to be talking about.
And we kind of did like sneak peek, and then we decided the reactions were too good.
Right?
We had to wait. We had to wait.
So we had to stop and we had to just do it here. And now,
Kind of live.
live-ish. Recorded from a live studio audience. Not actually. But
It's just
it's
us.
just us. So today, which we kind of alluded to last week, we decided we were going to talk about some one-star reviews.
Yes.
But instead of reading books with one-star reviews, we're going to go back through our Goodreads to some of the books that we read and read the one-star reviews that other people left.
Of the books that we gave like 5 stars.
Yeah,
4 or 5 stars. Like
4 or
something
5
we liked.
stars. Maybe I have a couple that like I know I gave a 3 because I didn't exactly like them, but other people were much more harsh than I was.
They said the things that you tried to say.
Exactly.
But we're not nice enough. We're not mean enough.
We're not mean enough. We're
Yeah.
nicer than we anticipated. So,
We're nicer than we look.
all right. So where are we starting? Would you like to
Kick,
start us off?
kick us off. Okay, first of all, something that we have noticed with a lot of the 1-star reviews. They are epic paragraphs.
So long. We're talking like bigger than your middle school paragraph, like or
Yeah.
bigger than your middle school essay. Like we're talking 5 to 7 paragraphs in these things.
Like
It's a book,
the book.
right?
We're like, why?
Are
Why
we
do you
all
need all
writing?
these words?
Are we all writing reviews like that? I feel like we're not.
I mean, I feel like you would write a review like that if you liked it.
Right?
Right? You would want to give a lot of detail. But if you don't like it and you're giving it 1 star, and yet we're still going into a super long explanation, it just blows my mind.
It does. And
Blows
I
my mind.
wonder, part of me is like, now I have to go back and look and see, like, hey, did you give all of your reviews that much attention or just the 1 stars?
I I don't know. There's a lot of people that give massive reviews, so I can't imagine. I don't know. Do you rate epic long? I don't.
I don't. I
Don't.
give enough to wet the whistle. Read it if you want.
I'll let you know. Yay or nay.
Yeah, but I have significant opinions about some of the things that these people have written. So, and we're only
So do these people.
right. So I'm only going through books that I've read
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because otherwise I don't want to like ruin stuff I might like.
We don't know. Yeah, I
I
don't
have
want to.
no
I
idea.
don't ever read reviews before I read the book.
No,
I
because I
read
don't
the back
want.
of the book.
Yeah, I don't want somebody else's thoughts to influence what I'm saying or what I'm thinking.
Oh, nice. We avoided the word.
We did.
I was waiting
I
for
did it. I
it.
did a good job.
You
I
did a
did a really
great
good job.
job.
All right, what book do you have first?
Let's go with Beach Read.
Okay, because
It's the
I've read
one
this one.
I just finished,
Perfect.
so it's very fresh.
What did
Okay.
you give it?
I gave it 3.5 stars.
All right.
I mean, I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's
It was
a
great. It was
normal
good.
Emily Henry book.
It was not like world changing, earth shattering,
Fair.
but it was a great story. So that felt like
Fabulous.
a 3.5 to me. Oh, this one's not too epic.
Okay.
It starts with yawn. I'm really sad I wasted my time on this romance that was completely overhyped, in my opinion. I can't really describe what turned me off from this story, but I could not get into their budding relationship as they both make a bet and write stories that are out of their comfort zone. I also just did not feel connected to January's past relationship with a seemingly perfect man who seemed like a placement character whose existence is for the purpose of making January seem like a well rounded character with a dark past. Not quotations, but
Right,
like
but like
little.
till days.
Yes.
I don't know. That's what they're called.
It says, I don't know. The romance wasn't engaging. The characters' backstories didn't interest me, and after reading such amazing romances, I have higher standards for romances, and this was not it for me. And I have to tell you, this is not an epic love story for the
It's
ages.
not supposed to be. It's
No.
supposed to be something fun and easy and you read it on a beach or at a
Yes.
lake or just in between. This is not
Yes.
supposed to change your life.
Yeah. No, this
People are so serious
did
about this
not
crap.
like. I'm like, it's a romance. It's kind of like anything goes.
It's honestly whatever they wanted to write.
Yeah. And I don't know that you can compare this romance book to other romance books because that's not fair.
I feel like I compare them to other books that author has written.
Yes.
Right? Like I'll compare like an Emily Henry and an Emily Henry, but I'm not going to take like an Emily Henry against an Agatha Christie. Like one those are completely different books.
No.
They're not the same thing. They're not doing the same thing. They're not written in the same way. Okay, so you just didn't like her style. That's fine. But
But it
also,
so easy.
yes, and the fact that
It's
like
just easy.
they started out and they were like, "Hey, they're, trying to write stories that are outside of their comfort." That sounds cool to me.
Yeah.
That sounds cool as crap.
Yeah. And that you find love in weird places
Right?
when you least expect it.
Whatever. I'm already annoyed.
Already know.
Like I'm already mad at this. I'm already bothered that someone. And the thing is, there are some one-star reviews where I'm like, I can see it. Like I get it.
Yeah.
But in this one, I feel like you know what you're getting into is an Emily Henry book.
It's not an epic romance.
No.
Okay, what do you have?
Again, whatever. All right, I'm actually going back a little bit.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to hit a classic, a children's classic,
Okay.
right? We're going to hit a children's classic. We're going to hit on Matilda. This one, ooh, yikes. I think I watched the movie version of Matilda a couple months ago, and I still enjoyed it thoroughly. But reading the book opened my eyes to a lot of troublesome things, and I have to say, didn't enjoy it at all. Mind you,
Wait.
when was this book written?
Yeah, and are we talking about the movie?
No!
Because she said she read the movie. I'm assuming it's a she.
Yes,
Did we say that?
yes,
Okay.
it is a she.
Yes.
Yes.
Read the movie,
Read the
then
movie.
read the book, read the movie, watched the movie, then went and read the book.
Yes. So it was like, hey, I just watched the movie a couple of months ago and enjoyed it. Okay,
Okay.
it's a movie.
Yes.
You're not doing all the work. You're just passively
Yes.
existing within the scope of the entertainment. This book was published in 1992. Do we remember what was happening in 1992? A lot. And a lot was happening differently than it is today. And so
Yes.
they're like, oh my gosh, there's so many triggers in this book. Are you kidding me?
Yes. That was the point.
It was supposed to be that way, like literally supposed to be that way. What else? They gave a list of 5 content warnings, which I'm not going to read. They said, "Ugh, I'm so disappointed. It's one of those things you loved when you were little, only to discover it's incredibly problematic and lackluster when you grow up. It wasn't for you when you grew up.
No,
It's for you when you were a child."
and we're in a completely different space now, and you
Yes.
know different things. Not to mention a completely different time.
Yes, and I always I love that it ends with, "Anyway, yeah, didn't enjoy this." Like, okay, I get it. But also, there's a lot in this that definitely hits on the reader's personal things, right?
Yes.
Which I get. We're all reading it, it's personal, whatever. But if I'm reviewing a book, I'm not going to take my problems, my things that I'm working on in life, my things that I'm healing through, and I'm not going to throw them out and be like, this book is fat phobic because they said this thing. In 1992, the child eating chocolate, the chocolate cake or whatever, was like, it was just a way to express that portion of the story. They weren't just being unkind and fat phobic. It was just part of the like
Yeah,
I understand that today we wouldn't write things like that.
but it's a different
Yeah.
time and place, and we
Yeah.
can't just
No.
cancel
Right.
cancel things.
Cancel things. And the thing is, we don't necessarily judge ourselves for things that we didn't know better
Yes.
previously. So
Yes.
why are we holding everything to account
Yeah.
for things that we now know are unkind?
Yeah,
Right?
that's
We
tough. It's a tough one.
right, we used to stone people. We don't do that anymore. We've grown.
Thank goodness.
We've grown, right?
Thank goodness.
She did talk a little bit about the plot. The plot started slowly and then rushed faster and faster until the end just happened. And I was felt left feeling like the book ended without actually finishing, if that makes sense. There was no feeling of an actual conclusion. Okay, that I will take as a constructive criticism. Right? I'm like, okay, there are certain books that do that where it's like, oh, it was a slow roll and then it just like all the way to the end. I
Yeah.
get that. But also, this is a children's book. Once you get to the end, they're pretty much done with it.
Yeah, they're probably done before they got to the
Right?
end. But
This-
that's just how we're moving.
yeah. So apparently, Matilda was not one that was good. There's another. Wow, this book was bad. Nobody should talk to a child like that. That's the point. That's
That's the
literally the point of the
whole point.
story. The point of the story. I couldn't tell if it was because I disliked the book or just because I was jealous of Matilda. What?
Wait, what? we uh,
Possibly a mix of both because I never stood up to or took revenge on the people who didn't treat me well as a child. I was helpless, and even now that I've grown up, I just ignore the whole thing. Kind of wish I had the resources and the courage that she does when I was a kid. So you thought the book was bad, but it definitely made a point and you were jealous of her? I'm very confusion. Very confusion.
that is wild to me.
But then it gets worse. The book brings some weird telekinesis magic shtick into the mix. Yes, that's like the best part of the whole book.
Yes.
That's the best part.
We love the unexplainable.
I see that there's a mention here of Miss Honey, and if we say anything unkind about Miss Honey, I'm going on a rampage. As someone who was a teacher's pet most of her school years, and with the knowledge that I now have of how much of a terrible idea it is on the teacher's part, reading the bits that Miss Honey paid more attention to Matilda than all the other kids physically hurt me and gave me secondhand embarrassment. This was used to showcase the fact that sometimes a little bit of support and a little bit of attention can make the whole difference in a child's life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to just go ahead and exit out of that because I can't read any more of that.
And what would we do if we had the power of telekinesis?
So many things.
I appreciate that.
You dang right my room would be cleaning itself. Books flying
Yes.
everywhere. Yes, we are having a grand old time around here. So
Yes.
apparently we have some Matilda haters.
Not me.
Not me. I'm not a Matilda hater. What else
Okay.
you got?
So I also just finished reading The Secret Bridesmaid,
Ooh.
and I talked about this one. I thoroughly enjoyed this one, gave this one 5 stars. This is about a girl who's a professional bridesmaid, and she's
Perfect.
always there to support and help and guide. Um, this says this book is a scam. In the description, they say it's a rom-com, but it's neither romantic or funny. It's an enemies to friends book with the love interest as the side plot, not to mention that everything else is just so implausible and predictable. Um, I would disagree. It is exactly what it promised to be. It was a rom-com. The love story was on the side, but I think the main relationship we were following was an enemies to friends of two women and how they come from completely different worlds, but how they convinced each other for support and like grew together. And I think we need more stories like that because yes,
Yeah.
we can yeah, I was just and where the I mean, yeah, they threw in some romance on the side, but like great.
Keep it interesting.
Yeah, it just kind of hit from every angle, but it was exactly what it described to be. It was romance, it was funny, and implausible and predictable is kind of, well, I know predictable is kind of what you look for in a rom-com,
Yeah.
right? It's like a Hallmark movie. We know, we all know the story arc. We get it, and that's what we're here for.
But I think it's
So,
fun that this one was a little different.
not a scam,
Not a
but
scam. That is rude.
dude,
Rude.
what else you got?
Jeez. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm going for Fourth Wing. I'm going for Fourth Wing because we
Oh,
know that we both enjoyed Fourth Wing,
yes.
and I'm just gonna I'm just gonna read some of the one-liners that
Okay.
are in here because there's a lot of one-star one-liners, like Zayden wears skinny jeans. End of review.
Oh, okay.
Y'all must be joking. End of review.
What?
Oh, oh, okay. Here's what I'm a little confused by. It is a 1-star rating that says Zayden could spit on me and I would ask him to do it again. That doesn't feel like a 1-star.
I do what
That
if
seems
you're
like
asking for it, wouldn't you like that? Like what?
right.
That's not a 1 star.
I reread this so I could give this book the 1 star it truly deserves. None of
You
this.
you reread
That's what it says.
to give it a 1 star review. That's not what we do for 1 star books.
But I'm not gonna read it again.
You're barely reading it the first time. So if you're giving it a 1 star review, if you're rereading it, That don't make no sense.
This one is full of bad words.
Ooh.
I've read the book, and I think it's so effing S. Goodreads, stop deleting my reviews.
Yes.
I think you're allowed to say those words on Goodreads.
I think that's probably why you're getting deleted.
There you go. There is a target audience for this, and I am not it. But
Okay.
even if you think you're part of the target audience, I think it's okay to admit when a novel is poorly written. No, I don't think this one was poorly written.
No.
I don't think so at all.
Did I fully understand it? Clearly not. I mean, I
Okay.
understood like the top level story, but I did not get into the full details like everybody else is. I feel completely stupid when everybody's talking. I'm like, oh, I missed that. So, like, that's not on the book.
Also, did I miss, speaking of that point, that Zayden wears skinny jeans? I feel like all flight leathers are skinny jeans. Everything,
They would
right?
have to be. You need them close to your body.
Because this one says I should have DNF'd when I found out that he wears skinny jeans.
People,
Did,
that was a thing. It was a trend. We
right?
all did it.
Here's one. This shitty book is as useful as toilet paper and serves the same purpose.
That's some expensive toilet paper.
Seriously. And are you using the dust cover? Because that sucker is pretty.
Like, what?
Right? So we're just gonna, yeah, there's nothing in here that's actually helpful as far as a 1-star review. There are some that have spoilers, which we're not gonna read because I don't want to ruin that.
Yeah, you have to avoid those.
There you go. Here's the one. This is what y'all said was the best thing ever. Dull, samey, silliness, letting your trainees die, super stupid, wasteful, and well, none of it can make up for that garbage world building. Violet is a caricature, not a character. This might be worse than the celibacy emotional abuse story. I don't know what we're talking about there. Honestly, it's just bloody unreadable. Bad writing, ghastly social politics, appalling message, grafting for young women, and therefore hyped to the fucking moon and back. It makes Dan Brown look like Stephen King. And here,
What?
I find myself confused where I'm going to back out of this completely.
We have delved into deep waters.
Yep,
I
there is a
know not
lot
how to
happening there.
swim. What? How are we bringing Stephen King and Dan Brown into
I
this?
don't know, but I will tell you that I definitely changed as soon as we got to Bloody, the accent changed because obviously
It
I was
did.
reading it wrong. I was reading it
It
wrong. I'm
did.
so sorry that I didn't do it justice in the beginning.
It totally did.
What do you have next?
Okay, so I'm pulling up a Palanook. Okay,
Okay. Oh
this
no.
is Damned.
Okay.
So this is about a 13-year-old girl. I believe she's 13. It's about a young girl, and she accidentally gets trapped in hell. And it's about her adventures.
Right. Her
Okay?
adventures.
Her adventures in hell
In
and the
hell.
people she meets.
Naturally.
I mean, can we really take this seriously? Probably not. This says tedious, try hard, and frustratingly inconsistent. Chuck Palahniuk is completely incapable of writing as a 13-year-old girl, particularly a girl of the same generation as Madison would ostensibly be. What? Wait, what? Why did we?
So
What? That
we're
makes no sense.
we're saying that he's not a 13-year-old girl. Check.
But why
But
do
we can't write from her perspective?
we have to throw in big words? Um, yeah, and so it then says Madison doesn't know what French kissing is, but describes in graphic detail one of the most disturbing sex scenes I've ever come across in any book. Her education is wildly out of order with her age. Her personality bounces around all over the place, and then the cop out twist comes along, and it seems and it seems like nothing more than Palahniuk's own realization that he wrote an amazingly inconsistent book and had to cover up the problems, just without having to go back and fix anything.
It sounds like being raised by the internet, quite frankly.
She's 13. Of course, her personality bounces everywhere. Do you
Right?
remember being 13? Of
Unfortunately.
course, your sex knowledge outweighs your age. Hello. Kids know more than we think they do,
Oh, unfortunately.
right?
Unfortunately.
So, no. And also, it's about a girl trapped in hell. Are we like why is there
It's literally upside down.
if you're worried about the things that you're talking about, how about the implausibility of the people she's meeting and having conversations with?
In hell.
That's not what we're worried about, but it's that she knows too much.
It's a book.
What?
It's a
It's a
book.
ridiculous book.
It's
And of
supposed to be.
course, it's wild and out there. And
'Cause
you can't be mad that it's wild and out there.
it's a Palahniuk book.
That's how it
It's
is.
just kind of the hallmark of it.
Yes, we know what we're getting with a Palahniuk. Palahniuk book.
Palahniuk book. Speaking of Hallmark things, right? The hallmark of something.
Yes.
I am going to one of my favorite books, The Book Lover's Library. We've talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Love The Book Lover's Library. Gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. And this person says, this is basically a Hallmark movie in book form, and I mean that in the worst way. This book is pandering. The plot is dumb and simplistic. It is transparently manipulative to the readers. It is just absolute trash, which I 100% disagree with.
Rude.
Disagree with. Somebody else says that, well, that did not live up to the hype. Long story short,
Long story.
long story short, it's about a single mom. The end.
Oh,
It's about so
what?
much more than just a single parent. So predictable and poorly written. Only reason I finished was because I was on a plane and had nothing else to read. I finished it because I liked it, and I recommended it to several people who also liked it.
Who also
So,
enjoyed it?
my friend Ginger, you're wrong.
It's a no,
Calling it,
Ginger.
it's a no from me.
Okay. My favorite,
Okay.
favorite, favorite, favorite book of all time,
Okay.
The Night Circus.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So this one is very different from anything you've ever read. I quick recap. It's about two magicians who
Yes.
are in this lifelong feud, and they're getting older, and they decide they're gonna make one last epic game
Sweet.
feud thing to like finish it off, right? So
Right.
they each take an apprentice, and the apprentices have to outdo each other.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very end, whoever outdoes the other,
Outdoes?
outdoes the other,
Whoever outdoes the do's.
outdoes the other,
The other.
then the losing team will both cease to exist.
Ah,
Okay.
that
But
seems
somewhere
like a lot.
along the way, we fall in love
Naturally.
and we can't. So we continue. And so this lady says, I don't know if this is just me, but I have absolutely no idea what was happening in this book. I was constantly confused, and I still don't know what the game was about. And that was kind of the main premise of the book. So, well, I just told you. So if that's not clear enough, then okay, great. Also, it was slow, really slow. I was bored out of my skull. Was there a plot? Barely. All caps. And the year kept jumping around, and it told me at the start of each chapter, but I couldn't keep track. How on earth was I meant to remember what was happening in what year to whom when it changed every chapter? It was so hard to follow. I was not a fan of this book, and I do not understand the hype at all. Ma'am, ma'am,
Myths.
this is exactly what I
Madam.
just explained. It is how we keep the challenge going because we love the other person and we know what's at stake. And so we just keep going and we never let it's kind of like that game where you could never let the ball touch the ground.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yes, we also there's a newer version of that with a balloon called Keepy Uppy. It's from Bluey.
Okay, so it's keepy uppy.
It's Keepy Uppy.
Yeah, where lives are actually at stake. So there's the plot. If you want to read it again, Miss Lara.
Life or death, Keepy Uppy.
Yep, yep.
Seems pretty reasonable to me.
I mean, makes perfect sense. Yes, yes. So there you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
So I think I have one more
Okay.
that I'm going to share.
Yes.
And this one says showing 48,501 one-star ratings of this book.
Oh,
48,501
one star.
one-star ratings. I will tell you the 5-star ratings that it has 163,855. 5-star ratings.
Okay.
So,
Four-ish times
right?
as many
So,
people?
I mean, and the
Rough math.
4-star ratings are 194,000. So
Okay.
clearly people liked this book. But a good almost 50,000 did not of those who have reviewed it. The book itself is wicked.
Oh, I already know.
And
I
I
already know why they're pissed.
and I read this book, right?
Yes.
And I read this book well before I saw the play.
Mhm, mhm,
So I read this book and actually refused to see the play for a
mhm.
long time, where everyone else in the family had seen it. And I was like, nah, I'm good because I like the book. And the book and the movie, or the book and the play, now movie, are different.
So different.
They are different and they were written differently, right?
Yes.
Fun fact, Gregory Maguire actually has several books in this series.
Mhm.
We have Wicked, Son of a Witch, and Out of Oz. I think that's three. And there's also the one about the lion. And I will tell you I DNF'd the one about the
Something
lion.
of men?
Courage, something about
Something,
courage.
yes.
I will tell you I DNF'd that one, but I read the other three and actually loved all of them. So let's see. Let's start with someone who has my namesake spelled incorrectly.
Okay, can I just say,
Yes.
like, what I'm picturing in my mind that is about to come is like, when you were told to read Romeo and Juliet in school and someone came in and wanted to, like, they didn't read the book, but they
Right.
watched the movie and they
Oh.
started quoting, and
Yeah, and
you're
you're
like,
like, no.
like, I feel like this is how this is going to go.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. So this says, ugh, where do I start? I'm giving this book 1 star, even though it appears I am in the minority in thinking this. I got through the first couple of sections and I just couldn't stand it anymore. It was painful. I'm sure the Broadway musical is great. I really do want to see it someday. People who have seen the musical and have read the book say that they are very different. I hope this is true. As I turned each page, I found myself skipping entire paragraphs out of sheer boredom.
Oh.
Right? The only part that I liked was the prologue.
Well, we started off strong.
Right? They wanted to feel swept away and they just didn't. So and it didn't coincide with The Wizard of Oz. It's not supposed to.
It's not supposed to.
And so they didn't like it. This one, don't waste your time and don't let your teen read it.
Oh, well, I have heard that.
I kept reading to the bitter
Mhm.
end of this book, hoping that suddenly it would all come together in a glorious flash of beautiful, meaningful allegory that would make all the crap worth it. Not even. I was just really mad when I was done, and I thought I'd wasted so much time on it hoping to pull through. Not only did it delve into other things we didn't like, it was just plain boring and didn't make sense to me. If you're
Jeez.
interested in it because of the Broadway musical, don't bother either. The only similarity between the musical and the book are the basic identities of the characters. The storylines aren't even the same, which is partially true. Storylines do differ a little bit, but also there's a lot of things in the book that happen that you really can't make happen, I don't think, in a play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was clearly unliked by several. I am not one of those people. I've been trying to get through this book since last summer, and thank God on high, I finally finished it last night. Given that Wicked was popular with both critics and lay people, and the fact that there's a wildly successful stage play associated with it, figured this book couldn't possibly disappoint. And yet,
And yet.
she then goes through several things. My advice, see the musical. I hear it's fantastic. But then again, that's what they said about the book.
Oh, she is hurt.
Right?
Hurt you,
Right?
ma'am.
Polly is upset.
Polly is
Polly is
upset.
upset. Right?
Sorry, Polly.
Sorry about it, Polly, but I will tell you, I actually did love Wicked,
Yes.
and I disagree with all of these. Except for the ones that are like, hey, the book and the movie are different. Yeah, the book
Yes.
and the movie, the book and the play, they are very
I
different.
will say that is probably the biggest point in conversation that I have with people.
Yeah,
After they see it, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go read the book." And I'm like,
cool. Have a good time, but just do not expect the
"Yeah,
same.
but it's not gonna be the same. So
Mm-mm.
just adjust your expectations." But I think that's true of most movies, TV shows to books.
Yep,
If you don't believe us, you can go watch that episode.
exactly.
But yeah, super different. And I think I don't think a play would do well if it was similar to the book.
Not
We
always.
need that, like,
There has to be some theatrical something. And I
yes.
think in Wicked, there's so many deeper themes in the book. There's so many
Yes.
deeper themes that are explained or, explored.
Mhm.
And because of that, that doesn't really make a great play.
It doesn't.
That would be a depressing play. But the book itself is good. I think it's a little bit deeper. I'm not reading the book to get a theatrical production experience. I'm reading the book to
No.
feel something.
Yeah, and I think you can explore that in books
Yeah,
a lot more
yeah.
than you can. So, while I value your opinions, your one-star reviews can shove it.
You and I disagree on our reviews
We do
here.
disagree on our reviews.
And
Yes.
I think it's okay that we do. I actually love reading 1 star reviews for things often.
I do them after I read though,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
because I
yeah.
don't want them to
No.
like to give me any
No.
sort of apprehension or whatever. And then I feel like I'm reading to prove somebody wrong. Like, I know you said this,
You said this and I can
and
find it
I'm gonna
anywhere.
just find it and I'm gonna prove you wrong. So I like to read them after. I think they're funnier.
And I will say, I always find it interesting when I read reviews and they start right in on like, this author's a terrible writer. And I'm like, I've only read two books that I can think of where I thought, oh, this writer doesn't have it.
Yeah,
Right? But typically, if I don't like a book, it's because I didn't like the plot line or
the
I didn't
story.
connect with the
Yeah.
story. And I don't necessarily think like, oh, the author's a terrible person.
Yeah, I'm
They
not
didn't know what
looking
they
at
were
their
doing.
grammar or like
No,
judging how they're writing because God, I am not a writer. So
no.
who am I to judge?
But
It's just
when
like the story just wasn't for me.
right, but when you get in there and you're like, their writing was trash. I'm like, was it trash or did you just not connect? Did you just not like it?
Yeah.
And it's okay not to like something. It's okay to do that. But I don't know that I would be okay with writing this is trash about
No.
somebody's work,
No. No. I couldn't. I couldn't.
right?
If I do that, it's kind of like one of those things where if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
No, and
And
even
I
if
just don't.
right, and if there is something that I disliked about it or that I wouldn't want to recommend and I'm being told like, "Hey, we would love for you to review this piece or whatever." Sure, I'll review it, but I will find something
Pick the good
yeah,
things.
positive to say about it, but I'll also say, "Hey, if this is, if you're looking for X, Y, and Z, this might not be your cup of tea. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
pick something else."
But also know that we're not all the same. And that's the beautiful thing.
Obviously.
Right?
All
I
y'all who
mean,
hated Matilda, like,
right?
come on.
But I think there are times that I would recommend something that maybe I reviewed as a 1 star because I know that it will fit someone else's read aesthetic.
Yeah.
Read aesthetic?
Read aesthetic.
Yeah, like they would enjoy that story. And I think a lot of the times it's not the book, it's me.
Yeah. I still find it wild for people to go back to books they've read or were read as a child and
Yes.
be like, this is a terrible book. When
Yeah.
you were in fourth grade, you liked that book.
Yeah.
Charlotte's Web? There are people in there who are like, the what was it? The pig was whiny. It's a pig.
And
It's a
he's
pig who
about to get eaten. He doesn't want to get eaten.
no.
So yeah, I'd be a little whiny.
Right? I mean, and the thing is that is what hooks a child in
Mhm.
to the entertainment of it
Mhm.
because the pig has a personality that
Yeah.
the spider has a personality like those are the things that hook a kid into enjoying it and what make it fun for adults and teachers to read it aloud.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean it has to be the most wonderful work of art. Can you imagine reading Wicked to a child out loud? Absolutely not.
No.
Can no, I'm not doing that. I'm
No.
not reading half the fantasy books I read out loud to a child. They're not made for that.
No, and I think it's kind of like we were talking about earlier with Matilda. Like some things just maybe aren't meant to age. It's
No.
like going back and watching a movie from the 80s and being critical of the
Have
CGI.
you watched Chitty Chitty Bang Bang recently? That did not age well. Like it just didn't.
You're like, "Oh, this
Oh,
is terrible.
oh, that
Oh,
was
this is
rough.
not good."
Right. But at the same time,
Yes.
I have fond memories of
Yes.
enjoying that movie as a child. And I'm not going to go back and be like, you as a kid were a horrible human because you didn't know X, Y, and Z. It didn't age well. It
No.
didn't age well.
But also we don't have to revisit that.
Right.
Let's just leave the childhood things.
Leave the Power Rangers where they were. Know that the color choices were rough. And we didn't necessarily recognize that as children before.
Yeah, and I will say I watched an episode as an adult and I saw a dude in the background of the buildings and I was like, "Oh, it put it all in perspective. He's
Yeah.
not as big as he thinks he is."
No. No.
And you gotta laugh.
Yeah. And just enjoy things as they are where you are.
Yeah, and know that, hindsight is 2020.
We don't need
So
to
when you
go
look
and
back at it, you're like, "Whoa,
right? We don't need to go back and like rehash
we don't
things.
need to overanalyze." And if it's a
Though,
1 star book and you reread it, maybe it's to give it a little bit more credit,
yeah,
or maybe just don't.
maybe don't put yourself through that a second time if you already
Yeah.
knew you hated it.
Yeah, I'd love to know. Have you ever rated anything 1 star? Because I don't know that I have. Maybe I
Can I?
have.
I'm like, can I look at that?
Yes,
I'm like, is that a thing? Can I see
I
how I
feel like
rated things?
yes.
Now you have to
Let's
look.
see. Let's see.
Just like,
Bear
let's
with us.
find it. My
Let's see what we
books.
got. Oh, wait, no, sort by. I mean, let's see. I
Did
do
you?
have some 1 stars.
You have 1-star books?
Yes, maybe that needs to be a whole nother episode because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
You have 4 1-star
Who
books?
am I?
Right? As I haven't gotten to my 1-stars yet, so we can't even tell if I have them.
Switch the other way.
I did, and it's
Oh,
something is
you
happening.
just didn't.
There are a bunch of books I read but did not
Oh,
rate.
yeah, because you put them on as read
Yeah,
probably in the beginning.
because when I, like, actually made my thing,
Yep.
there are some that I should have rated as 1-stars.
8,
No, my
9,
first is a
10,
3.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15 2 stars?
Apparently, I've only rated things 3 stars here. I don't have anything less than a 2-star. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
I rated Animal Farm 3 stars. That's weird.
Hmm,
I mean, seems reasonable,
I mean,
right? Oh, A Lion Among Men is the one that
that's
I DNF'd and still rated it 3 stars because I was like, I can get it. Like the writing was good. I just didn't feel it.
yeah,
Like it didn't continue the story that I wanted to continue, so I stopped reading it. But I didn't think it was technically a bad book. It wasn't for
it
me.
just wasn't
Again,
for
it
you.
wasn't for me.
That makes
Maybe I have
sense.
an issue where I don't want to read things one
Yeah,
star because I don't want to hurt people's feelings.
you're just afraid.
Right? Here's a book I should have rated
Afraid
one
to be
star.
mean.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, I have a couple on here.
Right?
And as I'm
Interesting.
looking at them, I'm like, yeah, I remember
Like,
you.
yeah, I know
And I know
you were meant
exactly.
to be 1 star.
You probably should have been DNF'd, and I didn't. So
I rated 0 stars
the
if I
fact that
could.
I finished it and rated it a
Proud
1,
of you.
much better.
Perfect. So yes, have you rated something a 1 star? Have you gone back to read reviews after you finished reading something? Do you agree? Like, do you often find that you agree with the ratings that people are putting, or are you completely an outlier and you're like, I am my own individual, my
Yes,
own person,
I am my own thing,
my
my own
own
being.
my own literary being,
And yeah, 5-star books that you love and other people hate. Can you see any truth in their words?
or are they all wrong?
Or are they just
They're
wrong?
just plain wrong.
Yeah, tell me. Tell me your books.
Tell us your things.
We like to fight. Give us more.
Exactly. So make sure that if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed in 25. We're still here. Subscribe. We are at 45 subscribers now, I think.
Yes.
So thank you all for being here. And if you made it all the way through this video, make sure that you give it a like so that we know that you were here and that you enjoyed it. And otherwise, we will see you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, wait, what is this? Oh, we don't have it here.
It's not a thing. This is a PC. We're in the world of PCs. PCs of crap. It was great to have you join us for today's chat. If you'd like to continue the conversation, provide a recommendation, or simply say hi, pop over to Instagram at wine.read.wine or leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next episode. Happy reading!